Hello? Yes, as the struggle for the emancipation of Africa and Africans intensifies, it will be very important for us to review what we study at school, what teachers teach our children at school. The curricula has to be reviewed because the information we get from school helps to determine what type of lives we live, our mentalities, the way we think, and the way we act in a society. Our decision makers need to take into consideration the specificity of each African country, of our continent, of our past, of our present, and the project they have for our continent, for our youth, for all the citizens of Africa in elaborating the school curriculum. Africa needs to review the content of the information they pass on to students. If there is any genuine intention of any decision maker to groom a generation of Africans who can lead the change in the African continent, there is an urgent need to review what type of information is given to them. Yes, we need to encourage the production of information. African writers, we need to encourage them. We need to encourage African researchers, those who make research on Africa, those who make research for the benefit of Africa, for the development of Africa, who take into consideration the specificity of Africa, of Africans, of our different countries, our needs. Otherwise, if we cannot take this information into place and we keep on basing our analysis, getting our inspiration from the works of other researchers from other continents, from other parts of the world, that is not bad in itself, but it is not going to help us that much. That's why I would like you to listen to one of these prominent Pan-Africanists, Professor Lumumba. Listen to what he says.
I have traveled and I'm familiar with the education systems of many African countries. And what has happened over the years is that we have acquired obsession with degrees, but we don't ask ourselves what is the content of the degrees that we are issuing. If you permit me,
yes,
many African countries say that agriculture is the backbone of our economy. But what a weak backbone it is in many African countries. If you go to the universities, what kind of things are they teaching their graduates of agriculture? If you look at a country such as China, for example, in the area of aquaculture, they are producing over a third of their fish from fish ponds. Are we doing that? If you look at a number of African countries, they are still importing poultry from countries such as Brazil. And I'm submitting to us that in every sector, whether it is in agriculture, whether it's in engineering, we must look at the content of what we are doing so that we are able to produce young men and women who are innovators and inventors, and we become manufacturers, and value addition becomes our forte.
If I may, you are saying in other words, the way our education must talk to our economic needs, must talk to what we say about our country. Let's use the example of agriculture.
Yes.
If at all agriculture is the backbone, then the education system must talk to this backbone.
You put it so well. That is what I'm saying. Because look at the education system that we inherited from the erstwhile colonizers. It was meant to produce Africans who would work as civil servants. And there is a large sense in which we have carried on that kind of education system.
So, after listening to him, is it a surprise to you that we have so many bachelor degree holders, master degree, PhD holders around us, in our continent, in our countries, but they are not that productive because the content of the information they got in their training programs was not adequate, because it's not proper. So, in trying to encourage these people, from the reformulation of the more information, taking into consideration our basic needs, our specificities. So, in conclusion, we would like to say the encouragement of African produced information, African researchers, and the consumption of information produced by Africans for Africans will be a step further towards the intellectual emancipation of Africans and Africa and the development of the Africa. Yes, we have the potential to be among the greatest nations of the world. We have the human potential, we have the natural resources, and we have everything it takes for us to be as developed as any other country in the world. But what we need first is the intellectual emancipation of the people. We need a reawakening and a review of the information we pass to our people. We have to see what we have to pass to our youths. Thank you very much. Share the video. Thanks.